What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Mission Fishing Live. I'm your host, Muto. How's everybody doing today? It's our job to get you a black belt in fishing, as well as myself a black belt in fishing. Let's get it done. How's everybody doing tonight? We're back. Been fishing pretty much all week, man. We left Monday night. Got back early this morning. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Pretty freaking tired. Not going to be lying, but it was great fishing. So I don't have too much planned. We'll just talk fishing. If you guys got questions, now's a good time. Now's a good show to have questions. We'll go over the trip, what was working, what wasn't working, techniques. So any of that stuff, I got some video clips you can show you guys. So it'll be pretty fun. But yeah, if you guys definitely have any questions about anything or even the upcoming trip, I think it'll be pretty close to what we were experiencing. So definitely let me know. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get it done. Get it started. Coach Worf, number one. What's going on, Coach? Ooh, it's going to have to catch it on the rewatch. Have overtime tonight. Be well and enjoy the show all. Thank you, Coach. Check him out, guys. Coach Worf, Worf TV. He does lots of shorts. So if you like freshwater fishing, that dude, he's the catfish killer. Bass, too. Good to see you, Coach. Fishing reps. Filleting a ridiculous amount of fish. That's awesome, dude. I haven't even got to my fish yet. They're still in my bag. I had to dump a little more ice in it, so they're still chilling. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get to those. And they stay fresh. Let's see. Captain Dan. Did you get them all out of the kill bag this time? Yeah, right? Mine are still in the kill bag. I know Kevin left that dodo in there, but mine are still in there. But hopefully they're still frozen. Still got like a ton of ice on them. Salty Dangler. Oos, welcome to the show. TV Metal Art. Todd. Oos, welcome. Check out Todd's art, guys. He's the man. Made this thing behind me. It's Mission Fishing Jig. Go check him out, guys. You want some custom metal work done? That's your guy, especially fishing related. It's good stuff. Captain Dan, East Coast time zone viewing tonight again. You're the man, Dan. Working those late nights, man. Awesome. Graham, what's going on? Oos, welcome to the show. Leonard, Oos. Down in SD, Roy, what's going on, man? Oos, welcome to the show. Marvin, Spinning Rod Rebel. Oos, welcome. Brian likes to fish. Spotty Bull champion of the world. Yo on the run. But listen in. Thanks for listening, dude. I really appreciate it. Peter86. Oos, welcome to the show. Graham says, did you like the crew on the Aztec? Audio and video not synced. Man, I don't know what the freaking problem is. It was like that last time too. And like I restarted the computer and everything. Let's see if we do. I hate when it does that. But I don't know if I have a fix for it. How's that? Sorry, guys. I had it muted. So what I was saying was I could talk to it from the webcam. The audio is probably not nearly as good, but let me know if it's synced. I don't know if it's the microphone syncing with the thing. Let me know. Is he DLC? Oos, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Just about to get into it, about to get started. Yeah, Graham said, how'd you like the crew on the Aztec? They were good, man. Dude, I had no complaints. No complaints. No complaints. Does the audio look like it's synced? Might just not be as good, unfortunately. I don't know what I have to do. It's so annoying when that stuff doesn't work. Oh, there's still a delay. That's messed up. That doesn't make sense. Let's see. Let me try something else. Let's try something else. What about now? Testing. Eric Lehman, Oos, welcome to the show. Let me know if there's a delay fixed. I tried to lower the resolution on the camera. Maybe that'll help. I don't know if it's like the HD is running too much, maybe. Testing. Oos, Richie Rich, what's going on, man? Oos, yeah, there's a delay. John Escobar, Oos, what's going on? Denny Perez, welcome to the show. Oos, glad you could join us. Two-second delay? Damn, dude, that's crazy. That's probably true. Peter86 is right. Know what software to use to stream. I use it's a web-based software. It's the same software I've used since I've been streaming. I mean, nothing's changed, but like last week it was like that. And then this week it was the same too, but like really nothing has changed in the setup department. I'll tell you what, I got a second webcam. Let's see if this one works. This is terrible streaming, by the way, guys. I know. I'm sorry. Thank you for bearing with me. This is like not the stuff you want to be doing live. Joey Bassin, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the show. Okay. Let's see. Settings, camera. Let's see if I switch camera. This is a different camera. My second cam. Is that any better? Let me know if that works. Hopefully that works. This camera's not as good, I don't think. Eric's got the idea. What's the name of it? It's StreamYard's what I use. It's a web-based application. Still delayed? Gosh dang. That's so annoying. I want a refund. I pay for this software. One more thing. I'll try one more thing, then we'll just have to go with it. Maybe I'll just do it with the camera off. Welcome to the show if you guys are just joining. All right, let's see. All right, what about now? Hopefully that works. Brian likes to fish. New member. Oos, welcome to the show, Brian. Not to the show. Welcome to the membership channel. Get some perks in there. You got some custom emotes and everything. Really appreciate that. Hopefully if that works. If that don't work, we're just gonna have to go with it. Close your eyes. We'll go with the delay. Hopefully that'll work. Don't sweat it. Just go with it. When I'm in town. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I had to switch the thing up, so I plugged it into a different port. I'm like trying everything. Maybe because I changed the ports in the thing. Who knows? No more delay. Hey, maybe we got it. We'll run with it while we can. So let's just get it going. All right, guys. So thank you for joining. Everybody here. We'll do a restart. Jessica Muto, Oos, welcome. Brian likes to fish, new member. If you guys want to join membership, you get custom emotes. You get a little belt next to your name. Depending what tier you choose, you get some jigs sometimes every month. You get free shipping on orders and all that stuff on your slow death jigs. So I appreciate that. More than anything, it just helps to support the stream. Helps me buy these crappy cameras that don't sync correctly. That's pretty funny. Fishing reps. Ooh, Stug Rubin, El Sueño. Oos, welcome to the show. All right, guys. Yeah, not much on the news front that I saw. Everything's pretty much still the same as far as the bite. It's just been fire. I guess we'll just get into it with us. Me and Kevin went fishing. Went out on the Aztec. We went on a 2.5 day, so we left Monday so the boat left at 9 p.m. We got down there. I think I left here at like 6:30, and we got back this morning. Probably I got home at like 2 or something. We were supposed to come in later. I probably should have been in at like 7 a.m. There was a reason why we came back early, and we'll get into that a little bit. But yeah, so we left 9 p.m. And the cool thing was, we didn't have to go that far. So the bite has been pretty much what you guys have been hearing the last couple of weeks. Lots of Dorado, lots of patty hopping. So the first night, we just went patty hopping. So we went down kind of to like the Ensenada area. Probably like probably like a 5-hour boat ride, but it was no big deal. We just slept in and woke up on the grounds pretty early, like 5 a.m. And they were looking for a patty that they put a beacon on, like a GPS signal. So I guess it was a patty that's been producing and stuff like that. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. We got on them, man. There was all kinds of Dorado, yellowfin, yellowtail. Pretty much those three were standard. The Dorados were going crazy. I mean, Dorado was like just freaking running nuts, man, jumping all over the place. And then there was some smaller like yellowfin mixed in, and a few yellowtail too. But Dorado was definitely the story. So it was really good. Pretty much all my fish. If you guys check out my Instagram, you'll know Slow Death 60. This is the one. This is the jig. So I'll brag on this product a little bit. This jig, this 60 gram right here, got a little paint chipped off. This is the one I just pulled off. But it's still in pretty good shape, man. Feathers are still there. Hooks are still super sharp. I think I caught 2 pretty decent sized Dorado on this. I probably caught 4 yellowfin tuna and I think 1 yellowtail just on this jig alone, this 60 gram assassin. So this thing freaking killed it. The pink is just what I had tied on. So I didn't want to tie anything else. So I went with it, rocked the freaking pink, kept it on. Kevin had a pink on too. And yeah, basically we'd roll up to the patty, and how I would fish it is I would just cast it like near the patty and just let it sink. Give it like 5 seconds. I'd count to 5, and then I would retrieve it, kind of pump it as I retrieve, pump, retrieve, pump, retrieve. And then I would just stop, let it flutter again, pump, retrieve. And then if I didn't get bit, by the time I got to the boat, once it was vertical, I would just slow jig it up. And I was getting bites out on the cast, a lot of times on the drop, and then reeling it in. But sometimes when it got to the end, when it was like 20 feet down, I would just pump it on the way up. And I got bit twice just doing that pump, like the vertical pump on the way up. But yeah, man, the assassin freaking killed it. I got bit on even the 40 gram sumo. So I was throwing the 40 gram sumo on a 15 pound. I think I caught a yellowfin, maybe just 1 yellowfin on the 40 gram sumo. Same thing, just cast it out by the patty. And I think it was the cherry bomb, and they just smoked that thing. But it was pretty freaking awesome. And we had the good patty that was popping off, and then we kind of limited out on Dorado early. So they were looking for more yellowfin, so we had to bounce around a little bit. We went to another one that had a beacon. Wasn't so good. Then we just did the classic patty hopping, where we went on some and they just weren't holding. We found some patties. We found this little tiny ass one too, and there was fish on that one. And still was a story, just a lot of Dorado, so we didn't really stick around too much. But yeah, it was good. They were biting. I know Kevin was working the surface iron. He had that kicker going, and that was doing really well too. So I mean, surface irons. First day, didn't even know live bait, man. Didn't touch it. Wasn't nothing. So it was super cool, guys. It's those trips everybody's been talking about. So hopefully it's good, and hopefully they stick around, because they're still patties. We really didn't have to go that far south. I don't think. Maybe we just got away from the fleet and stuff like that. But there's been patties so close to home. I don't know if it was necessary to go that far, but it is what it is. Went down to Mexico, but still fun. Yeah, I got a little clip here. So the good thing is I'll probably get I got enough content for a couple videos. So I'll have probably the first day up where we did the patty hopping, and then we'll do the next video. So then the second day we'll get to was mostly open field stuff. But yeah, here's like a little video clip of, if you guys haven't seen the Dorados jumping, but so this was day one. And again, this is the 60-gram assassin. And this one, I think I just dropped it. I didn't even cast this one. You can see the patty's not in view, but I think just like 2 pumps. 1, 2, 3. There it is.
There we go.
It's probably 30-pound test. But this is the fun part coming up. See those things, dude? They jump out of the water. Dude, it's fun. That was kind of blurry, but there they go. Dude, it's freaking awesome. And we couldn't keep anymore, so I had to hand line it up. They didn't want to gaff it.
It works, man.
A nice dodo on the 60.
Yeah, sucks. I only got one Dorado too. I got some. I had a ton of yellow.
Yeah, so that was the first day. Just some of the footage, but it was freaking awesome, man. They were just popping off like crazy. So we hopped around. I did the patty thing. And then second day, so we closed it up. Everything was good. We pretty much limited out on Dorado. The yellowtail, we didn't limit out on it. And I don't think the yellowfin either. So we kind of moved on. We couldn't get away from the Dorado. So we moved up north. So we went back to bed. If you guys haven't been on one of these trips, you basically just go pass out. They serve you dinner. I went to bed probably like 8 o'clock. I was already like toasted. And so I'm sleeping, right? So the goal is we want to get on these big tuna. And I stayed up, like they said we're going to be there like 11. So I remember I woke up around like 11. I went up on deck and Captain was still just driving around. So driving. I was up maybe 30, 40 minutes. He was just like circling around. At this point, we're already north. We're almost back all the way to the U.S. border. So we were down by like Ensenada. We came up to the border. I went back to bed. I'm like, I don't know if I think he was having trouble finding them. It was just, if you guys ever fish for tuna, bluefin tuna, that's just what it is. So usually you deep drop at night. And I was like, yeah, I just passed out. So whatever, I go to sleep and hot as balls. That was the thing on. So we were on the Aztec, like the AC or something broke. So that kind of, dude, they put some fans out, dude, but it was hot as hell downstairs. And it was like, I was just sweating balls. I'm down in my little cab. Although the bunks were nice. Bunks were actually pretty nice for some of these boats I've been on. Mine was pretty spacious at least. And just on a side note, like, so the first night we went out, it was choppy as hell. And there was tons of wind swell. So the first night when on some boats I've been on, the bunks run long ways with the boat. So when the boat goes, it lifts side to side, when it hits the swell. And remember last year I was on one and I kept rolling like back and forth in the bunk and I really didn't sleep. What's cool about these bunks is that they run perpendicular with the boat instead of parallel, which is actually kind of nice. So you're laying long ways with it. So as the boat lifts side to side, I wasn't rolling around like I was before. And you're just kind of going back. You don't tilt and roll. So I thought that was actually kind of nice. I got a little more sleep that way, I think. It was still super choppy. It was super rough, but I ended up going to sleep. So on the way back, this is the second day. We got bagfuls, we got limits. And then, so I'm passed out, right? I finally get to sleep. And all of a sudden, like I hear somebody's yelling at me. You know when you're like in that dream state? So I'm with Kevin. Kevin Nakata fishing reps with me. And you wake up and he's like, Muto, get up. you know, I get up one of those things, like I sit up like the Undertaker, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, dude, I got to tune on the 60 gram. I got to tune on the 60 gram. So I'm like, I just remember thinking like I wasn't even awake. I'm like, oh, dude, you're the man. So he runs back up deck. Kevin was up there fishing. I don't know when he got up. So I'm like putting my boots on, my deck boots. I hop on the top bunk. So I dive down and I'm running up there like half asleep. And dude, Kevin slayed a freaking a tuna. It wasn't huge. So here's the thing. It wasn't a huge tuna. It was maybe like 20 pounds, 20, 30 pounds on that huge ass 600 gram ogre jig. And if you guys go look on his Instagram, look up Fishing Reps Instagram, or you can check out my Instagram and linked on there too. It just sucked this thing down. Like it looked like that thing was eating a hot dog like long ways. It was halfway down its throat. These jigs are like 18 inches. I don't have one on my counter. And one of the interesting things about these jigs were, so we know somebody's got bit on the 400. We know they catch the fish and stuff, but we were like, man, we got to get one on the 600 because the 600 gram is like, we've had this debate. I see some of your guys' questions too. We're definitely going to get to these. So the debate with the 600 gram jig has always been like, is it too big? When people first see it, they're like, oh, the jig is too, is anything going to eat this? Is anything going to eat this? Me and Kevin are like, dude, we're confident. Kevin's seen so many tuna, so many bluefin. He's like, they're going to suck this thing down. If you guys have seen the big ones, you know they're going to smoke these things, right? But when you see it, it's like, when you see the jig, it's big. You know, I don't think they're that big because I see them now all the time. Like to me, they're not that big. But when I first saw them, I was like, dude, this thing is huge. So the theory is with the jigs is to get down first, the heaviest jig. Because you guys, anybody that does fish tuna know these big tuna when the school comes through, you want to be the first down, the first one that gets bit. This school typically leaves. Then you wait for the 1 or 2 guys that got hooked up to eat the fish. So kind of our thing with the slow death, those 600 grams is to get you down before anybody. So Kevin's goal was to like get one. So Kevin was the only person that caught a fish that night. The captain had a tough time finding him. And what had happened, he wasn't even the first one down. And there was people already launching before him with jigs, but dude, he torpedoed that ogre down, got it down first and got a tuna. His gear was super heavy and he horsed it up. But here's the thing. So these big jigs were made for the cow tuna, right? Like 200 plus pounders. That's really like the goal. Get those 100 plus, 200 plus, even 300-pound fish. We have them rigged up heavy. But the thing was, will the big ones eat it? And even though it was only a 20, 30-pound fish, it was better to actually catch that fish because it completely proved the theory. We're like, dude, a fish will eat these things, no problem. And we're already talking about like we need 1,000-gram jig to get down faster because if a 20-pound fish is going to suck one of these jigs down like it was a lollipop, a 600-gram jig, a 20-pound fish ate this thing like in half. You guys go check out the picture, 600-gram jig. A cow was going to eat this like it's nothing. So it was actually cool seeing that. We're like, oh, it wasn't the cow, but we're like, but if a small fish will eat this, a big one will smoke this. So it kind of we had to get something that took that mystique out of it. You know, I was like, oh, is a 600 going to work? Well, problem solved, guys. I mean, even the little ones will eat the 600, which is cool because even if you're in the schools of like those 20 to 50 range fish, you know, a 500 or 600 will still work. So you can still throw a big jig and beat everybody down there and they're still going to eat it. So you don't need to match, like you don't need to go down with a little 200-gram jig. They'll smoke one of these big ones. So that was freaking awesome. We were just like, I was half tired, man. I wasn't even awake. I was awake, I think, pretty much the rest of the night. We looked for them, but I just couldn't get on them again. We searched and searched. Actually, I don't know if we were quite in the U.S. because I think we moved again. I don't know if we were halfway in between. Kevin was up. Apparently, he just woke up and the boat was like moving. He said he heard the boat stop and he hopped up and he was already rigged up on the jig. But yeah, it was super awesome. So at this point, I got yellowfin on the sumo. I got yellowfin Dorado. Oh no, I got a yellowtail on the javelin. Oh yeah, so I got a yellowfin on the sumo. The javelin, I got a yellowfin and a Dorado and a yellowtail. And then I caught a yellowtail on the javelin. And then on the ogre, we caught, it wasn't even a bluefin. I think it was like a huge ass yellowfin. It was a huge tuna. So we pretty much got everything on every jig. The only one we didn't get bit on was the samurai because we didn't run into the big monsters anymore. But pretty much every jig, freaking got smoked. So that was freaking awesome. Dude, we hit the rounds with it. But yeah, I was super pumped about hooking up on that thing. We know somebody caught on a 400-gram jig. They got a big old cow, but they lost it at the boat, I guess. So we didn't get that footage, unfortunately. Any big bulls? Yeah, we didn't. We were getting some big ones, but they weren't like none of the cows. The Dorado were decent size. They were pretty big. A lot of the yellow. So the first day, the yellowfin were like little rats, like the little football fish, still fun. Second day, what I'm going to talk about, yeah, we got on those things. They were pretty big. And then medium, medium size. The big stuff is still out a little bit, but they're there. They're there for sure. Which just says, questions, let's say you guys maxed out on Dorado, but you did not catch one. Do you get some home since the guys maxed out? Yeah. So I got, so I only caught one Dorado early on, a pretty decent sized one. I was, for whatever reason, I was just smoking the yellowfin. Like it was crazy because they wanted everybody to catch the yellowfin. I was smoking the yellowfin and I only had the one Dorado. Everybody else was catching Dorados. I think the tuna just loved the jig. And then I caught on the, I think like that video I showed you, I caught a Dorado, but they weren't keeping anymore. So I had to throw back, but I only had one Dorado. So if that's the case, your limit is 2. They gave me a Dorado. So even though I had the one, they gave me 2. So if somebody caught 3, your limit is 2, and somebody only has 1 or 0, yes, they'll give the fish to the people that didn't, if you didn't catch any Dorado. And you want to know the crappy thing that sort of happened is we limited out on the Dorado, and in the morning they were smaller. They were pretty small. So we circled around. Now, you guys, this is 2 days of fishing, 2.5 days of fishing. When we fish till 5 a.m., we fish until the sun goes down. So it's like, well, you fish for 18 hours. We went back to the buoy or to the beacon because they wanted to pick it up. They were done with it. And we fished that one again. So when we went back the second time, the Dorado were bigger than they freaking were in the morning. But now it's like, well, we couldn't keep any of them. So we ended up, well, what do you do, right? Because you're not going to take the chance and not keep them. So you keep the ones you get. But when we went back, we were looking for the yellowfin. But everybody just kept catching the dodos. So they had to keep throwing the dodos back. But they were bigger than what we were catching. So it kind of sucked. We ended up releasing the bigger ones because we ended up limiting out on the small ones earlier in the day. There was some big ones mixed in there, but the second go around, they're definitely bigger. I don't know if it was at night or when it started getting late, but those big boys showed up. But you can't take a chance, right? Like, that's the only thing. You don't freaking know if you're going to find them again, so you just keep them. We didn't know they were going to be bigger when we went back. We're hoping more yellowfin would be on them because that's what they need to limit out on. Yellowtail too, but there wasn't that many yellowtail. I know they were looking for them. I saw one decent size. I caught a decent size one, and then I caught a little rat yellow, and I just threw it back. I didn't even keep it. It was like a little too small. So we got now Cave Dog. Oos, welcome to the show. Oos emote, I love it. Yeah, Izzy got that covered. Yeah, they give people the fish. Wonder how it works being so close to the U.S.-Mexico border. Dodos in the U.S. is 10. Yeah. So what Grandma's saying, you can keep 10 Dorados in the U.S. And only 2 in Mexico. That's crazy, huh? And it was weird because it's like usually you catch more in Mexico. Like the rockfish, like you can keep black sea bass in Mexico, and you can't keep any in America. And you can fish deeper water, different waters, deeper water. Like year round, you can fish rockfish in Mexico. It's like totally different. Usually it's more lax in Mexico, but when it comes to like the Dorados, for whatever reason, they let you go ham on them here in America. 10, and then you only get 2 per person there. That's crazy. I don't know why there's such a discrepancy, but yeah, that was the thing. So we caught the fish, and then so the next day we moved up. Kevin got his got the ogre on the 600 gram. That was super cool. So then we moved in. Now we're like close to the US. We actually moved up. We were near the islands, but we were like, a little west, kind of in that zone, almost in America. I think we probably drifted up in the US halfway through. And then we were like back down between the border, Mexico and US, because now they're looking for the big stuff, right? We pretty much got all the rats. We got some of the Dorados. couldn't catch any more of those. So we went looking for the big fish, right? These big bluefin, the school stuff. And this is like, it's totally different. So we're not hopping patties anymore. Now it's like the captain goes searches and you're looking for the hogs. And we definitely found some. It was crazy. So at this point, like the jig bite, it doesn't really happen like during the day, especially for like this type of fishing. Um, the tuna they're very pressured. There was tons of boats. They kind of go in and out. What you do is the captain will go, he'll kind of like he'll see the fish and then they start chumming, and then you just like you get a fish out there pretty much as quickly as you can. And you try not to get spooled. So I got freaking rock. I got a video here I'll show you guys. I got smoked so bad by one of these fish. Um it was freaking crazy. And what's nuts is so what I was using was I didn't plan on using live bait at all. So I hooked up a live bait and I was using my bait casting rod. And basically what I have on there is like a Penn Fathom 15. It's a casting reel. It's primarily a surf casting reel, but I use it for iron. So I was on like a surface iron rod, kind of like this pretty parabolic. Like it was long, like a 9-footer. And yeah, dude, it was freaking crazy.
Holy shit.
Let me show you this video. So Kevin's like, he tells me to let the drag go, right? And so I loosen up the drag. I can't stop this. So then I'm like, no, it's too high. So I tighten up the drag, and dude, I tighten up the drag so much. And this thing has 30 pounds. This reel has 30 pounds of drag. So I 50-pound braid, 40-pound leader, and my drag is buttoned down, and I'm holding it with my thumb as hard as I can. And this thing is like smoking. Like I'm not even messing with it. And it was crazy. It was the second fish that I hooked, and it's pretty funny. I totally lost this thing, but you guys check it out here. Oh, this is the same one. Here we go. These are some highlights of the videos we're gonna have coming up.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Explicit warning. So if you guys got kids watching, I'll restart it. Fair chance. There's some bad language in here. All right, you've been warned.
Holy shit. Straight out. Oh, shit. I'm gonna get fucking spooled. Oh, fuck, man. I was getting spooled, dude. That was a bluefin for sure. Holy shit.
Oh, that wasn't even the end. So you see here, I tightened it.
I'm gonna get fucking spooled. Fuck, man. I was getting spooled, dude. That was a bluefin for sure.
Look how small the reel is on that thing. Look at the reel left. So this thing was all the way up. This thing had line packed. And you see this picture here. I had this thing cranked down, buttoned to the balls, and I had my thumb on it as hard as I can. And it was running like I wasn't doing anything. Absolutely crazy. And I thumbed it so hard it eventually it broke at the braid, 50-pound braid. Just freaking snapped it. Crazy, man. We don't know what it was, but it was definitely a big bluefin for sure. To be running that big. Freaking crazy, man. So we had that man just go in. So we're there, right? Fishing the big tuna. Now, that was the second fish I lost. I lost 2 freaking fish. Like I said, I'm on the jig. So I'm fly lining with the jig stick and this lure. I had one that I fought, and I was fighting like 20 minutes, lost it. Then I caught the second one, just spooled out. And finally I hooked up on a third one. I fought that one for probably 30 minutes, maybe a little more, 35 minutes, and finally landed it. Finally got a nice big bluefin. It was super cool. You guys see that on my Instagram too. I got that posted up. Even Kevin landed a lot. Kevin got hooked up a lot. I think he probably had probably 7 fish hooked, and he lost 3 or 4. I went 1 for 3. So when you guys go looking for this big stuff, man, it's like, be prepared. These fish, they beat your ass, and they're mean. These tuna are freaking no joke, man. You think you're ready and you think you got big gear, but you lose them. You lose a lot. So definitely take the precaution, because you don't the thing is, you don't always know when you're going to get a lot of chances at them. Luckily, we had them come up and biting. We had one school stick with us from like 600 fathoms. We drifted for like an hour, and we made it all the way into like 60 feet of water. These fish were still freaking with us. This school just stayed with us. They stayed with us. We found another one that was biting, but so you have this shot at them. And this is where I lost it. I had lost 2 fish within this drift. And then we searched for them for like another 5-6 hours, right? We don't find anything. You find a couple biters, one person gets hooked up, they hook it on. Then towards the end of the day, that's when we found the other one. And finally I landed one. But Kevin lost a lot too, and he landed a lot, but it's the heartbreak, man. That's like that's that game with those big tuna. And one of the most interesting things that happened with it. So here's something you guys have to understand when we're catching these. What's nuts is the bluefin were mixed in with the yellowtail. So the yellowtail we were catching, yellowtail typically are like the little football fish you find around here. There was yellowtail mixed in with the bluefin. And I've never seen that before. Nobody's really ever seen that before that we were fishing with. Normally you catch bluefin or you catch yellowtail. You might catch one, right? That's in the thing. But these were running like they were in the same school. I think the bluefin and the yellowfin were running together because when somebody hooked up, they were the same grade fish, that 20 to like 50 pound range. Maybe a little heavier than petty. They were probably like 30 to 50 pound range in the fish. And when they came up, we didn't know what they were until they were on deck. Most of them were still yellowfin. It was probably about half yellowfin, half yellowtail. I mean, half bluefin, half yellowfin tuna, which is freaking crazy. And I've never seen that before. And nobody's ever really seen that because they don't. They're different types of fish. They're different schools of fish, and they school differently. But having them mixed in, it was one or the other. There was no tell. Normally, you're like, oh yeah, we're in the bluefin, or oh, we've got the yellowfin. These fish were sticking with the boat, and they were 2 different species that looked like simultaneously running together after bait, which was pretty unique and pretty special actually, because even some of these yellowfin that were coming in were as big as the bluefin. And I've never really seen yellowfin that big. I know down south in Mexico, they get up to hundreds of pounds, just like the bluefin do. But up here, usually you get like the footballs, or sometimes if they're 10, 15 pounds. I mean, that's a pretty big yellowfin, but they were pulling up fat ass yellowfin tuna mixed in with the bluefin. So it's freaking crazy, man. They've never seen anything like that before. I don't know if it's happened. I'm sure it has in history, but seeing them working together, it was like, I think they were schooling together is what it seemed like. And I don't know if that's what they do, but they were definitely doing it up here right off the coast. So it was super cool. Super fun, man. And one of the things too, like one of the, like an anecdote we can dispel is me and Kevin were both using monofilament. So on the technical side of the fishing, they kept saying, tie on, because we were fly lining baits, and they were like, tie on the fluoro, tie on the fluoro, tie on the fluoro, do straight mono. So me and Kevin both went a straight mono, and we were getting hooked up, man. And I'd much rather have that better mono, that stronger knot, and the heftier duty stuff. So, yeah, you don't have to run the fluorocarbon, guys. This was tested. That's all we ran the whole trip. Throwing jigs, all monofilament. We were fly lining baits, all monofilament. Me and Kevin, and we were fishing the hell out of these things. There was really no difference. I'd say probably everybody else on the boat was likely running fluorocarbon. Like they do. It's what you're told. It's what the crew tells you to bring. That's what people bring. But we were just running mono. So mono works, man. I don't see any difference. I didn't see any fall off. It wasn't like we were catching any less. We were crushing it. So that's something I wanted to bring up. And I know we've talked about it. I've talked about it. I don't know if you need fluorocarbon. I think it's kind of waste your money on that stuff. But we stuck to it. We used the mono the whole time, and basically no difference in the bite. So just get the mono, guys. Go team mono. I don't think you need to waste your time, because even, the argument that I've heard is like, oh, well, when you're fly lining, you need it. If you're deep dropping or jigging, you need the you don't need it. It doesn't matter as much. But when you fly line, that's what I've always heard, right? When you're fly lining fish, that's when you need fluorocarbon. That's where fluorocarbon comes in. People like to defend. Listen, guys, I use fluorocarbon forever. It wasn't like I don't have a side. I don't have a team. I'm not sponsored by anybody. It doesn't make any hell of a difference to me. But I know some people we get very dogmatic about things that we love in fishing, and I know some people they really love the fluorocarbon because it's I did too. I thought it was stronger. I thought it was better. I thought it was superior. I don't know why. I never looked into it, but once I started studying it, looking into it, testing it, I was like, I don't think there's really a need. But the argument was always like, oh, well, it's harder to see. It's harder to see. So maybe mono is good, but when you fly line, we were fly lining monofilament, thick, 40-pound monofilament. I was fly lining, I think even 50-pound on some, and still getting bit, still getting ripped on these baits. So it is what it is. Take it for what it's worth, but that's just some scientific experimenting we did right there. No difference in the bite. Just thought that was something I'd bring up to you guys. Ooh, Spook Guy, welcome to the show. Congratulations on that beautiful Dorado. Thanks, man. Yeah, I caught two. I caught a couple of them. That was fun, man. They were freaking popping off. Captain Dan, two in Mexico as 5 fish of a kind towards daily Mexican fishing license limit. Yeah. Cave Dog says we saw bluefin tuna running with yellowfin tuna and the 9 on Saturday. Oh, so you were out there Saturday? Yeah, we were around that area. We were in that same zone. That's crazy though. Seeing the bluefin, I didn't know they ran together. Usually you see it's the bluefin come, the bluefin leave, and then the yellowfin come up, and then the yellowfin stay, and we fish yellowfin. They're still here. The fact that there's bluefin still here is absolutely insane. The fact that I went on a trip, I caught Dorado, I caught yellowfin, I caught yellowtail, and I caught bluefin tuna. 4 different pelagics on one trip. That's nuts, guys. That is absolutely nuts. So hopefully that holds up. So with that being said, we do have a trip coming up, submission at sea. Like I said, I think we had a cancellation. So we're going out on the Malahini a full day, and hopefully it stays up. If this type of fishing stays, a day trip, we'll be able to get on them in no time. If they stick to the 9 in that same area, I don't think it'll be a problem. I hope they do, because we were coming home and we saw a patty, and we didn't fish it, but we looked down, we saw Dorado swarming these patties, so they're still there. Hopefully the fishing holds up. And one of the good things about later in the year, so right now you're seeing earlier, or you were seeing the Dorado, right? People were finding the Dorado, but they weren't eating. Same with the yellowfin, because what happens is there's an abundance of bait. I was talking to Kevin about this, or he was telling me about it, is that they eat so much, they're not interested. When you go out and you're like, oh, we found a bunch of Dorado, but they're not eating. We're finding patties that are holding, but they're not biting. That was kind of the story you were hearing. Well, as the season goes on and the fish stick around, they get more stupid, is what we call it, because the fish keep getting hungry and hungry because the bait starts to thin out. Now you got to think, you got the bluefin in the mix, the yellowfin, they start eating all the freaking bait. So they start getting hungry and they start getting crazy. So as the season goes on and the season goes longer, you start getting those stupid bites. That's where they just go nuts because they're hungry now. And I think they're kind of making that transition, where a couple of weeks ago, people were like, yeah, we found them, but they weren't eating. When we found them, they were in the middle. We got them really good. I mean, we got a really good number. I can't complain. 27 people, I think, and we limited out, but it wasn't Dorado bite was pretty wide open. I'm not going to lie, but some of the other were finicky. But we stopped on some patties where they didn't eat. It was sort of the same thing. They didn't want to eat. Some were there, but they weren't that interested. But as the season goes on and they start demolishing that bait, that's what you want, because then they get stupid. They start fighting each other. Anything you throw in there, they just smoke. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. So that's about a month away. Yeah, less than a month now. So September 29th. Oh, Jessica says, yeah, we open 5 spots. So that's more than I thought. If we got 5 spots open, it's $300 if you guys want to go with us. It's all inclusive. Captain Dan's going to make pizza. You guys get custom shirts with that logo on it. It's a great time, guys. I mean, don't miss out. We're going to give you guys some jigs. There's going to be giveaways, raffles. It's going to be an event. So it's just a day trip. You don't have to do a couple days. So submissionfishing.com. Check that out if you want to hop on with us. A lot of people from this chat are going. A lot of them are. So it's going to be a blast getting to hang out with these guys. Hopefully that fishing sticks around. But yeah, don't miss out, guys. And hopefully they're hungry. I hope they're stupid by then. and they've demolished that bait, and we can get on them. That's the plan. That's the plan. So check that out, guys. If you want to fish with us, definitely gonna be good. Todd says gonna be making some dodos like that for the PCS show. That's awesome, Todd. One was crazy about the Dorado, like that one that I posted a picture of. You guys go to Instagram, check it out. Like the Dorado we were catching, if you guys haven't seen them, there's so many different colors. They're not like that last one I caught was like that classic. It was the yellow with the green. But that first one that I caught was white, and then it was just bright blue on top. I saw some that were like yellow. It's just crazy. Some are like that blue polka dots and like yellow stripes. The color is probably the most beautiful fish. I mean, the colors on those things are freaking awesome. Remember my tip last time? Don't wait to take the picture at the end when they're already dead because they lose their color. They just look gray. So when you catch a Dorado, take the picture immediately before they die because they still keep that pigment and you get the beautiful fish. If a lot of times when you catch fish, they're like, okay, now you can everybody takes pictures of their dead fish at the end. Don't wait on dodos, man. Take that picture early because otherwise they're going to lose all that color. Definitely get that beautiful fish. Arnie Senko Oos. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, Arnie. Glad you can join us. Tommy has sand dabs for sale. Sand dabs are good, dude. I can't argue with that. Easy DLC, what mono are you running with? I use the Iser line. I use Iser line, the Triple X. It's like the, what do they call that? Just the copolymer, I think. And then actually some of it, and some I was just using the big game. So when I was using 50 pound, I was just using the Berkeley big game, 50 pound. But normally like my 15 to 30 or my 15 to 40 pound stuff is the Iser line. And the 50, for whatever reason, maybe I couldn't find it. So I went to Walmart and bought the big game. So nothing special on that one. I do like the Iser line. I think Kevin uses the Iser line first line. So they make different ones. I like the softer copolymer because it doesn't have much memory. But I think Kevin was using the Iser line first string, which I think is primarily like for mainline. But you can use it for a leader. I don't think it matters, dude. Just get some mono on there. Yeah, dude. Dodos are awesome, man. They're probably the most beautiful fish too, but they're fun to catch too. You guys buying it? Well, we got the sand dab black market or what? That's funny. Let's see if we got any more questions here. Oh yeah, I wanted. So, anyways, to just finish up the trip. So the plan was we were gonna stay out and fish jig. So when you're on the 2.5 day, we should have fished. So we were close to home too, which was cool. Normally you're like 9-10 hours away and you cuts into your fishing. We were right at the border. We weren't even that far. We were, I think, 2 hours away from home. We were freaking close. So the goal was, as the sun was going down, that we were going to fish till like 2-3 in the morning. We didn't have to be back to the docks till 5. So we were going to fish all night. And that's when the jig fishing picks up. So we're like, oh, hell yeah. We're going to get the ogres. We're going to get the samurais involved. Finally going to get those huge ass fish on the cows. But we ended up coming in because one of the guys, unfortunately, he had a stroke or we had a medical emergency. We're not sure it was a stroke, but I think his name was George. So George, good luck to you, dude. Hopefully you're doing okay. I think he kind of we don't know for sure. I think he blacked out and he was having memory issues. He couldn't remember. So we turned around. I mean, it is what it is. We bolted up, buttoned it down. I mean, captain hauled ass back to port. I think he was having trouble remembering things. And the guy he was with, Matt, the guy he was with was another black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, believe it or not. So that was cool. For a couple of days, we just sat at the table and bullshitted about jiu-jitsu for like 2 days. So that was pretty fun, actually. And I thought it was his dad, but it was just a friend of his. But yeah, he knew something was wrong. And, so he knew those older gentlemen. There was a lot of old guys on the trip, but he knew something was up. So we turned around. Captain did the right thing, made the call. So we moved in, lost like a lot of hours of fishing, but he was really apologetic too. And we're like, dude, don't even worry about it. You got to take care of your health first, and the paramedics came in and they're like, yeah, he needed to come in. So better than having like a bigger issue at sea. So hopefully he's okay. I don't know him personally. I don't have an update, but hopefully everything works out for him. So you guys drink water. Make sure you stay hydrated on these things, these boats, because we were talking about it. Like even one of the trips, I know I drank like 2 bottles of water, which is nothing. I'm talking like the small ones. And I put electrolytes in it at least on both my bottles, so I drink it like a sugar-free with like magnesium, potassium, like sodium, just to stay hydrated. But when you're out there fishing, you don't think about it. Like if you're like me, you just fish, 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 fish. You don't even hit the deck, and the last thing you're thinking about is water until like it's too late. You get in or you go down to lay down, and you're just like you start getting the headache and your body starts cramping. So just drink water, guys. Remember, safety first. Think about it. I'm guilty of it too. I know a lot of guys out there were. So stay hydrated, stay healthy, do what you got to do. But yeah, so we ended up having to come in. We didn't get that late night jig bite that we wanted at the end. We really wanted to see those 500 and 600 gram shine, but it is what it is. We got to the dock at like midnight. Then we had to go get ice. Got like 100 pounds of ice. Man, we had so much fish. So then, I got home like after 1. It was like 1:32. Took a freaking nap like in between. I'm pretty beat. I'm like, you're up from was like 2 days. I'm ready to go get some good sleep. So I was up pretty early this morning too, and then I passed out for like an hour. But it takes you got to recover from those things. But yeah, it was fun. So that was the end of the trip. Kind of ended on a sour note. But he got in. Paramedic. He was a tough guy too, right? He was like he didn't want to go. He did like he was like, no, I'm good to the paramedic. But they were like, they looked at him like, no, dude, you got to go in. So glad he got taken care of. That's just how it goes sometimes, guys. Everything on the water, safety first, man. Take care of the fishermen. We could always catch more fish, but we can't replace each other, So it is what it is. Hopefully it's all good. Arnie Senko, it's first string. Triple X is softer. Isoline is the best. Yeah. Yeah, I like the Triple X for my leader. And I'm pretty sure Kevin uses the first string. So it all depends which one you want. Triple X is the bomb, man. I've been using that stuff for a couple years now, and I've had no issues with it. Very low memory too, which I like. The Dodo, yeah, dude. Jumping Dorado are awesome, especially when they're on the line. It's like you're fighting a mini marlin, watch them come out of the water and flop. It's a blast, dude. If you guys haven't caught Dorado, I've been on them a few times like that, and that was the only one. That thing jumped out of the water like 3 times. The first one I caught, like it didn't come out. It didn't come out of the water at all. But yeah, this dude like 3 or 4 times just came out big old jumps. It was super fun. It's like a bigger chance to lose them, which kind of sucks because they're shaking their head like crazy. But hell no, slow death 60, man. They were getting out of that thing. Not the 2 assist hooks. Hell no. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't call the Coast Guard. Yeah, I've heard about that. I just shouldn't laugh about it, but when I was a kid, there was a guy that I heard he had died like fishing, and people were making jokes of like, at least he died doing what he loved, but had a heart attack on the boat. It happens. But luckily, so we wanted to go. We were talking about, I don't think we wanted to go. Me and Kevin were like, let's go out to Tanner. We wanted to go way the hell out there to get the pigs, right? Get the cow tuna. It was a good thing we didn't, because a lot of times these small medical issues, what they were saying was like, sometimes you have these small strokes, but then they turn into bigger ones later or hours later. And those turbos were running on this boat. He was hauling ass, and paramedic was there to meet us at the dock. So that was really cool. Otherwise they would have had to just airlift him or something. So it was crazy. That was super scary. Yeah, if you're thirsty. Yeah, dude. When I get the bottled water, I just get an electrolyte powder. I get it on Amazon. It's like some keto stuff. So there's no sugar in it, no caffeine. Like it's good. And potassium, magnesium, 2 scoops in each bottle. And I think that's what helps me get by. So I don't have to drink as much. But yeah, definitely throw some electrolytes in there as you burn up quick. It wasn't that hot. Luckily, it was overcast. It was cool. I had my jacket on most of the day, but even still, you got to drink more water than that. Last 4 days I was on years ago, one guy stole everyone's stuff and we had to come back to the Coast Guard and drop them. Are you serious? Dang, dude, that's crazy. Why would you steal stuff on a boat? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard about. Like, where are you going to go? You know what I mean? Some people are just, what'd you guys do? Like, did you have to like hog tie him or like tie him down? That's nuts, man. Or did he confess it and give it back? I don't know. if I was a thief, probably a boat would be the last place I'd like commit a mass theft. I'm just saying, freaking nowhere to run. Huey Ha, welcome to the show. Glad you could join us, man. Picked up a new rod, NS Black Hole Cape Cod slow jigging rod. Awesome, dude. I haven't heard of those, so interested to see how it works. Can't wait to use it on slow death jigs. Heck yeah, man. Can't wait to see pictures. Speaking of rods, yeah, Kevin was so one of the other good things about the trip is one of the fun things, like rolling with Kevin, because he's always got like prototype stuff. We had the prototype jigs too, so we're like, I love fishing all the like the prototype stuff. He had rods that are like not in production yet, and dude, Kevin's like, he's working these. Dude, he was so bendo on one of these tunas, had it on the rail, and it held up, man. And this thing was like, this rod was like tacoed, man. And it fought these fish. Kevin was beating their asses on it. We had those Taipan rods, or like that's some of the rods he's repping, and they were badass. It was cool getting like the fish prototypes and stuff. We had some prototype jigs on us. It's just cool. Like that's one of the things too about like developing products, getting to like see what works and what doesn't. Like when you get bit on something new, it's like it's super cool. When it works the way it's supposed to work, it's awesome. When you like you think you're like, oh, I bet this thing would get bit, and then when it finally gets bit, you're like, oh hell yeah, it's super fun. I was like the ogre. So the ogre, it was like before we put it in production in the 400 and 600, we were fishing the hell out of it. So we had the design and we were fishing it. But we were fishing it like in that 150-pound gram weight, and it was destroying stuff. So it was like we started with the small one, and then we bumped up the size, but we had that proof of concept down prior. That's like the fun stuff, the prototype phase. Remember the stories of the guys having heart attacks on a boat back in the day fishing for albacore? I've heard of it too. That's crazy. This is not a bad way to go, right? I mean, if you're older, it's like if it's quick and you're hooked up on a fish, forget it, man. That's not the worst way to go, I don't think. Maybe if it's fast. I was on a 2-day trip in LA years ago. Some dude fell and broke his leg. Oh, called the Coast Guard. Haley medevaced him. Yeah. Yeah, that was the first time I've seen that. I've been on a lot of boat trips. First medical emergency. It was kind of surreal. They were asking, like, looking if there was a doctor on the boat. You know, no doctors, unfortunately. So, yeah, it was crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But yeah, guys, the Dorados and stuff is still out there, so go check it out. Check out Submission at Sea if you want to get on there with us. It used to be a blast. Hopefully they stick around. That's about all I got. Let's see what we got here on. Unless you guys have anything to add, any questions, let me know. Let me check Instagram, see if you guys ask me any questions before we sign out. Nice, Eric. Eric got some inappropriate questions for me. They're not going to make the air. I'll read this one. Respond to your question sticker. Spotty Bull wants to know bait fishing topics. That's all. I got some good news for you, Eric. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. on YouTube, bait fishing with Roman and Brian. Check it out. Seriously, guys, if you guys are into bait fishing, that's kind of like that's their forte. So if you guys love spotties, we talk spotties here too. We love bait fishing. This channel, it's all fishing, like pretty primarily saltwater fishing, but you know, that one show we did a whole thing on freshwater fishing, but yeah, we do it all here. Freshwater, saltwater. I like big game fishing though. I love going offshore. I like fishing the bays, but you know, we talk bait fishing too. But if you guys Wednesdays, I guess I want to bring this up. Roman and Brian do a show. Check out Fishy Hour. Their show is primarily bait fishing. They focus on spotted bay bass mostly, sand bass, kind of the in-bass halibut. So if you guys want to learn to fish the bay, San Diego Bay, Mission Bay specifically, check out that show, guys. So if you guys want to be good bay fishermen, we love the bay fishing here too, but we don't always talk bay fishing. On that show, they pretty much always talk bay fishing. So check it out. Eric the Judge Lehman, bay fishing from 8 to 9, $2. Thank you, Eric. You're the man. What do you want to talk about bay fishing wise? Give me a topic. We'll talk bay fishing. You had enough offshore stuff? It's too much offshore for you. You got to get out there, dude. You're going to miss it. That's what's the so what would you guys rather fish? Would you rather catch I don't know, would you rather catch spotties or would you rather catch pelagics like Dorados and yellowfin? There's no right answer. I mean, really. I think it's a bigger risk. The thing is when you go for pelagics, it's a high risk, high reward because there's a lot of times you go out, you don't catch anything. So you burnt a lot of fuel, you looked around, but it's like when you get it, it's so freaking awesome. Spotties, it's like you could almost guarantee a spotty catch, like 100%. I think in one of the bays. If you need to find them, you can get them. But what would you guys rather have? So you'd rather catch a spotty, Eric says. Spotty fishing. There wasn't a 2-cent option. Hey, dude, I appreciate the $2. Thank you, YouTube, for Eric not trying to sandbag me with the 2-cent donations. I will put the $2 to use, Eric. I'll buy something spotty related. I'll buy a bay fishing lure. I'll buy a 20 gram. And lure topwater fishing is fun too. I like topwater fishing. Or tap water fishing. Tap water or top water? Never been tap water fishing. You talking freshwater? Yeah, I don't freshwater fish that much. I like trout fishing and stuff. Yeah, I think I'd be into it if like I'd be down for like some big ass salmon or like dude, like the snook. There's some big ass or not the snook, the gosh, what are those fish? There's so much I know about freshwater, right? Like the I was like the sturgeons and stuff like that. Like there was some big ass freshwater fish that are like no joke. That put some of these saltwater fish to shame. So it's not like saltwater's got all the big fish. There's some freaking monsters. Maybe I'll do a promotion. What if I do a drawing? How about a $2 donation and you have a chance to win a 20 gram? You got to gamble it. It's no guarantee. Oh, so that is the tap water fishing? That's funny. I love trout in the Sierras. Yeah. Yeah, musky fishing. Yeah, dude, there's some big ass freshwater fish. I just got to do more of it. I live so close to the coast. It's like I don't know. I just stick to the saltwater. It'd be longer for me to go find a freshwater fishing spot than it is a saltwater fishing spot. I think most people live near lakes and streams and everything else. It's harder to go saltwater fishing than it is freshwater fishing, from my understanding. I'm like in the reverse scenario where it's like I'm closer to saltwater fishing than I am freshwater fishing. So that's why I stick with it. Duck Ruin with the emotes. Oos. Yeah, we'll have to do a trip. I know you guys did like that freshwater stuff. That was pretty cool though. Oh yeah, I was checking questions. Don't know if I have any more. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jessica just said cherry bomb sumos are back in stock. I know we sold out of the sumos, the cherry bomb. So those are back in stock, guys. If you want them, we do get another refresh on those. So if you're looking for those, get on them. Cherry bomb took off, man. Crazy. Let's see. I think that was it, guys. No more questions. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Thank you for all the members. For the new member, Brian likes to fish. Thanks for the membership. Eric, the Judge Lehman, thank you for the $2. I really appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, guys, go out there. Like I said, get on them. Fishing's hot. Some of the best we've seen out here a long freaking time. Don't sleep on it. Come join us, Submission at Sea, submissionfishing.com if you guys want your slow death jigs or shirts, apparels, anything you guys want. Thank you for supporting the stream. If you're watching it for free, that's cool too. No big deal. You're all welcome. And thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully I see you guys soon. Get out there, fish. That's what it's all about. And let's go get our black belts, guys. Oos. Thanks for joining.